So there's a scene in the movie Fight Club where the characters actually go in and get the, I think it's the liquor store owner, and they put him to gunpoint, take him out in the back, and I think it's what, Tyler Durden, the name of one of the main characters in there. He puts the gun into the kid and he tells him, "What did you want to be when you grew up, Raymond?" And Raymond starts telling him what he wants to hear, right? "I want to be this." He's like, "Bullshit, tell me the truth, Raymond. And your life's in danger." And Raymond says, "I wanted to be a veterinarian." And he tells him, "If you don't, I got your driver's license. If you're not a veterinarian well on your way within the next week, we're gonna come find you. We know your address," right? Lets him go. The guy takes off running. The other character asks him, "Why the hell would you do something like that? That was brutal." And he said, "Tomorrow when Raymond wakes up, it'll be the best breakfast he's ever eaten in his entire life. It'll be something that you and I will never be able to experience." And I wanted to tie this into food addiction, because I'm doing a lot of intermittent fasting. Today's actually Friday, May. Let me take a look as I'm talking here. I forgot to put the dates on these things, guys. I'm always busy running around. I thought it's important to put the date. Today is Friday, May 16th. There we go. Thank you. And this is also the Type 2 Diabetes Brotherhood, the T2 Diabetes Brotherhood, so welcome. But yeah, I'm doing intermittent fasting. Today I'm going for another 24-hour. And going on Raymond's breakfast, I wanted to use that analogy, that story, for how I found that I'm addicted to food, and a lot of us are addicted to food. And when it's taken away from us, life becomes a whole different thing. Not literally taken away from you. I mean, you could go through some sort of catastrophe, a hurricane or something like that. And yeah, there may be nothing to eat. You're stranded on a deserted island. But we're not on a deserted island. We're not in some sort of natural catastrophe. And we have food around us everywhere at our beck and call. That is the dilemma. That is the major problem, my friends. And if you guys start to notice, back before I became a type 2 diabetic, I would get sushi whenever the hell I wanted, right? Sometimes once a week, for a while there. And just after a while, it tasted good at first. And after a few months of doing that, I was finally like, you know what? I'm kind of burned out on sushi. We get fucking spoiled. But not only are we spoiled and have everything at our fingertips, it's literally the crash, the thing that's killing us. And I want to say too, you guys know, I quit drinking back in 2023. I used to drink about a 12-pack to 30-pack of beer a day. We all know that alcohol is addictive as well. I just think a lot of people don't know that food's addictive. But when I quit drinking, it was like drinking was my life. And I know that may sound pathetic, but those of you who do love beer as much as I do, I still do. It's been a year and a half, I haven't had a drop. Nobody loves beer as much as I do. But that was taken away, and that was my go-to thing to come home on a stressful day or even a good day. A friend of mine coined it perfectly. He said, "A beer makes a bad day good and a good day even better." So I would, especially when I was stressed out, that was so fucking wonderful to sit down and crack an ice cold beer and have as many beers as I wanted to. But just the mood that it would give me, that buzz, and I just, whatever I was going through, it was like, you know what, we can forget about it for today. And it made things a lot easier. But it didn't solve the problem, right? Just like type 2 diabetes, if you change your diet, and you start taking meds and all this, it doesn't solve your problem. It's the exact same thing as quitting beer, right? You quit beer, you got buzzed, you forgot about it, problem's still there, right? You got type 2 diabetes, you got high blood sugars, you take medications, you keep shoveling sugar in, the problem's not there anymore for a while until it comes back. The sugars don't magically disappear, just like your problems with alcohol. So yeah, I got rid of the alcohol and I felt like I had, it was a real psychological mind fuck that I had to, my one joyful thing. Being a single dad and a roofing contractor, I think I'm expected to fucking drink, right? And it was the one thing I had that I can't have anymore. And then it came down to the food. Then it was, well, as I mentioned, this food is actually spiking my blood sugar. I got to cut out some of these bad foods in my diet. Then it came down to, well, I need to cut out food in general out of my diet, start doing intermittent fasting. So you guys can kind of see where, the addiction to alcohol, you take that away, Then you find you're addicted to food. You take that away, you find you're fucking addicted, just basically addicted to stimulation. And this is not a good place to be. So once you get past the addiction though, I think once you start doing what I'm doing, once you reverse type 2 diabetes, once I stopped eating sugar, stopped drinking, I lost a hell of a lot of weight. I feel fucking wonderful. I'm almost 50 years old, my friends, and I'll be 50 on St. Patty's Day in next year, March 17th. And I feel like I did when I was in my 30s, guys. So it gets better. It's not all doom and gloom. It's just, I think that it's actually a positive, because now when I eat, like today, doing a 24-hour fast, I just went and got myself some prime ribeye steaks at Costco, by the way. If you buy like 30 pounds of it, it goes as low as like $16.99 a pound, I think. The choice is even cheaper. I think it's $11.99 a pound. So I'm gonna slice that up into big old thick steaks that I like. And you know what? That steak is gonna taste fucking beautiful tonight, right? So that's kind of the thing I look at, is when you forsake yourself of having the pleasures of life, such as food, life becomes actually more enjoyable, and it actually becomes more, I want to say, respectful and meaningful, because you'll notice when you put yourself out of just giving yourself pleasure whenever you want as far as food and all that goes, and you discipline yourself, that food actually tastes a lot better. The reward is bigger. You know, a lot of us know, if you're into making money online, right, and you want to promote a business and do marketing, the longer you hold out, the bigger the payoff is. The more you can create value for people, the bigger that payoff. So it's kind of like what I'm talking about here, is the longer you hold out, the more and more you do intermittent fasting, the more you feel better, the more you start losing weight, and the food just tastes fucking wonderful. So it's like a gift. I think it's a gift to your future self to take control of your life. Stop succumbing to the fucking circus of food, the availability, the inconvenience of our convenience all around us, because it's literally killing us. But you can live a relatively happier life. I think you could even find a lot of meaningfulness in your life. I know a lot of men are lacking, self-respect. They're lacking purpose in their life. And, us as men, and I don't want to single out women too, but we're mostly about men here. When you measure yourself, that's when you kind of really figure out who the fuck you are, right? If you've never put yourself in danger or in some sort of hardship, right? To see, how far can I go? How many miles can I run? How high can I climb a tree before I start to get dizzy, right? All of these things, you become stronger of a person for it. And I think that's when you find meaningfulness, because when you're being fed like a fucking hog, like, what is that fucking goose shit where they eat the liver? They literally put a hose down a goose's mouth and they fill it full of carbohydrates to get the fatty liver. Goose fraba or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. That's basically what I see as humans. But we're voluntarily doing it. We're just slopping our faces to where the food has no flavor, right? The entertainment has no entertainment anymore. You drink it, smoked it, fucked it, farted it, ate it, barbecued it so much to where you become numb. And the way back, my brothers, to find meaningfulness and purpose in your life is to be able to get back to measure yourself when you're doing without, and to see how far that goes for you, to see how far you can push yourself to the limits. And the beautiful part is, not only do you awaken to your own spirituality through this, believe it or not, through your own strengths, you waken up to yourself. And I don't want to make it sound like food is a totally horrible thing. I don't think I have, but I want to leave you with this. Certain scientists, certain people are saying that the reason why we have barbecues is because when we have people over, right, is because back in the old days, when there was the smell, genetics, when we'd all crowd around a fire and there was meat, it meant that things were good. We felt comfortable. There's a fire, there's a smell of meat, that means babies are going to be fed. Our wenches are going to be fed. I'm just kidding. Men probably had harems of 20 women, right? They probably fucking cavemen I'm talking about, right? No fucking law, no rule. Beating the shit out of each other, killing each other for it. But no, besides that, we're not talking about that, or mom today. We're talking about the comfort. And I don't know about you guys, when I drive by a smokehouse or I smell briquettes, it relaxes me, it makes me hungry, my mouth starts salivating. And it's a good thing. It's a celebration, and food should be a celebration, I guess is what I'm saying, all jokes aside. when you do have that barbecue and you do have that good stuff like me eating prime ribeye steaks tonight on a Friday, it's a celebration, and it should be respected and cherished and celebrated accordingly, but not when we're pigging out, not when we're over abusing everything until the point where we're fucking numb and we have no purpose in our life. We're depressed because we've just overstimulated. So unfuck yourself from the overstimulation of what we have going on around us, which nobody talks about because it's just, you know, it's food, man. What the fuck you tripping on? Well, do without it and see what happens, right? You'll probably freak out at first, but then you're gonna be like, holy shit, this is the best meal I've ever had in my life. So go out there, my friends. And I'm also, let's check my blood sugars for the daily. All right, so here's my continuous glucose monitor. This is the interface, guys, and I've taken you guys all the way back to 5/11, May 11th here of 2025. And I want you guys to pay attention to the progression here because this is the power of intermittent fasting. Now, I woke up at 101 here on May 11th, and I'm just going to kindly go through here really fast. You guys are going to see some heavy spikes over here. I shared this with you guys before. I calibrated my sensor. I was a lot higher than what I thought. So I ended up being, without eating any food, I was up to 138, almost 140. And I think I hit 140 somewhere in here. Yeah, 141. But I want to take you guys through the next few days and just kind of show you guys what's going on with intermittent fasting. So this was a day of intermittent fasting here, and my blood sugar still went up in the red. Now keep an eye on this graph here. This gray zone, this light gray zone here is the optimal glucose range. This is where I want to stick, but I don't want to be higher than 99 in the mornings. And let's pay attention to that as well. But also, we don't want to be spiking. Look at how much I've been spiking when I intentionally ate wrong and to get myself up in high levels. This morning here, ended up waking up pretty good, around 94. But again, after breakfast, up in the highs. This is May 12th. And you guys can see up high a lot, right? I ate early in the morning. I didn't eat for 8 hours the whole day. Blood sugar started to come down until I ate dinner. Looks like I was around 96. Did some walking, but my blood sugar still popped up pretty high. This is while I was sleeping. This dark purple blue line here, this is what that means when I'm going to bed. You guys can see my levels are kind of high, right? Kind of really wonky as we kind of go through here. Woke up this day at about 106 milligrams per deciliter. And look at these blood sugars, so high. I ended up eating breakfast here. I think this was a little bit earlier on May 13th. And I was 110 when I ate. Blood sugars, the dawn phenomenon was actually really, really high at this point. And you guys can see, didn't eat for 8 hours. You can see that pump and dump where my body's starting to get rid of the sugar. And notice every day that I'm going through here, watch how the blood sugars get better and better from intermittent fasting. All right, let's just go through here. Let's just keep going through. Very high again, my friends. That's without eating any food. This day I didn't eat anything. I did a 24-hour fast, and this is on May 14th. And you can see blood sugars are coming down, down, down. That means I'm spending a lot of the sugars that I have in my body and utilizing them up. As we went down, I ate dinner. Again, this is May 14th. Had a little bit of a higher spike right there. Nothing too bad, but as we progress, look at how everything's starting to get lower, my friends, from doing the intermittent fasting. This is one of the most powerful tools that you can use for free. It doesn't cost you any money. This is how I'm able to gain control of my blood sugars. Now look at this, 94, 93, right? A lot lower levels, 84. Woke up, looks like at 94 milligrams per deciliter. Still had a little spike here. This is May 15th, but not as much as the other days, if you notice. It's getting better and better. So same thing here. I did an 8-hour fast. I ate breakfast early in the morning. Looks like this day here, I think I ate earlier this day. Yeah, I ate around 8 a.m. and I didn't eat dinner until around 5. That was actually a lemon water there. Ate dinner here at around 5:14. Didn't have that big of a spike, right? This is May 15th. Let's keep going. Look at these levels in the mornings, guys. Look at this, 77. Early in the mornings, getting a heck of a lot better. All the way till I woke up at, let's see here, at 5:30. Looks like I was at 95 milligrams per deciliter. Not a big morning spike, all right? And this is definitely, I don't think that we had a meal here. We did a 24-hour intermittent fasting again. This is this is today. So this is today, May 16th. So as you guys can see, did a no eating, did a 24-hour, and blood sugars actually started to come down further and further. And you guys saw the morning, right? We actually came down all the way to the low 80s till I ate dinner. Had a little bit of a spike here, but not as much as the past few days. And resting right now at 103, and this is approximately 8:40 p.m. May 16th. I wanted you guys to show you guys that progression of what intermittent fasting could do for your blood sugars, my brothers. If you want to get off meds, if you want to change your life, this is the way. This is intermittent fasting is going to help you to pump and dump to get rid of a lot of those sugars in your body, and it's going to get better and better as the day goes by. All right, it's May 16th, and I wanted to show you guys my HbA1c. I was hoping to cause some drama here and be able to get it up a lot higher, and I thought it was going up. But actually what I have essentially done in the past 3 months, as you guys can see, my A1C was 6.0, and that was on February 7th. It is now May 16th, which is today. And as you guys can see my record here, I got my blood sugars down, my HbA1c down to 5.4. That's within a 3-month period, my friends. This is what the data shows here. This is when I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes right here. As you guys can see, I went down. I worked my way to get it back up to 6.0 and literally got it back down with intermittent fasting and a few other things that I want to teach and share you guys about my story will work for me, down to, what is that, 5.4. So guys, that's how it's done. This is the proof. This is how I've done it, and this is why I'm here to share with you guys. If you're sick and tired of the bullshit, you're sick and tired of the medications and the fad diets and the shit that doesn't work, I'm the man that's got the way to do it. This is how I did it, and it's possible for you guys as well. Subscribe and follow. Ask me questions. Email me. I'm here for you, my friends. This is the living proof of what I've done for myself, my story, and I want to share it with you guys.